November 13th, 2020, writing. The following slide will contain a writing prompt. After reading the prompt, you must solve it and respond with a written mathematical explanation of how you solved the problem using 2 vocabulary words. All right, so our prompt says, solve for the quotient of 924 divided by 2. Then explain in words how you solved the problem using at least 2 vocabulary words. All right, so the first part we need to look at here is, okay, so we need to solve for this quotient of 924 divided by 2. So 924 divided by 2, I'm going to highlight that so we know that that is what we are going to solve. The quotient, remember, is the answer to a division problem. So we are going to divide here. So now I have my little house division bar set up here. So on the inside of the problem, we're going to put the 924 because that is our dividend. So I'm going to put 9, maybe, there we go, 924 as our dividend on the inside of our house. On the outside of our house here, we're going to put 2 because we're dividing by 2. So that is our divisor. So the divisor is going into this number. But we're going to see how many times it can go in there. So let's start off with this 2, and let's see, okay, so how many times can 2 go into 9? Well, I know 2 can go into 9 4 times without going over. Whoop, not 8. 4 times without going over. So I'm going to place that 4 at the top, and then I'm going to multiply. Well, I know 2 times 4 is 8. So I'm going to put this 8 down here, and then I'm going to do what with these numbers? We're going to subtract. All right, so now 9 minus 8 is 1. I'm going to put that 1 down here. Now, what do we have to do now? Am I done? No, we got to bring down that 2. Bring down the 2. All right, so when we bring down, oh, that was perfect. When we bring down this 2, we have a 12. How many times can 2 go into 12? All right, well, 2 can go into 12 6 times. So I'm going to put 6 above this 2. And now I know 6 times 2 is 12. So I know that 6 times 2 is 12. Now I'm going to subtract. All right, so now I know that 12 minus 12 is going to be 0. I'm actually going to move this up here. There we go, so I can move this all up. There we go. All right, so I have this. There we go. I have 12 minus 12, which is 0. So now am I done? No, we need to bring down that 4. So that 4 here needs to come all the way down. I don't know why it won't go to. There we go. So we're going to bring that 4 down here. And 2 goes into 4 how many times? I know 2 can go into 4 2 times. So I'm going to put my 2 above that 4, and I know that 2 times 2 is 4. So I'm going to put 4 down here, and then I'm going to subtract. All right, so now I know that 4 minus 4 is going to be 0. Now am I done? Yes, there's nothing else to bring down, and there are no remainders because we end up with a 0. So we have our answer of 462. So our answer is 462. Now, or a quotient, I should say. Now, we're going to write about it. So, we are going to write in our boxes for the mathematical reasoning. So first, what we did was, well, we had to rewrite the problem to look like we did with this in the house. So first, rewrite the problem with that 924 as your dividend and your 2 as your divisor. Then ask yourself, how many times does 2 go into 9? So that's what we asked ourselves. So that how many times does 2 go into 9? All right, then we multiplied that 2 by that 4. So then multiply 2 and 4 to get 8. Then you will find the difference between 9 and 8, which is 1. Whoa, not booteen, it's between. There we go. All right, next, bring down that next digit. So after we found that difference to be 1, we had to bring down that 2. So next, bring down the next digit, which is 2, and ask yourself, well, how many times can 2 go into 12? Now multiply 2 and 6 to get 12, and then subtract 12 from 12 to get 0. After we got that 0 here, we had to bring down that 4, the next digit, right? So after, bring down the next digit, which is 4, and ask yourself, how many times does 2 go into 4? Multiply. Then, so we asked ourselves how many times 2 goes into 4. We know that's 2. So then we multiply that 2 by 2 and get 4. So multiply 2 and 2 to get 4, and subtract 4 from 4 to get 0. Finally, after we subtracted that 4 minus 4 to get 0, finally, there are no other digits to bring down with no remainders. So you get a value of 462. All right, so I'm going to read this through, and as I'm reading through, let's see if we can figure out our 2 vocabulary words, because we can't forget we need those 2 vocab words. So first, rewrite the problem with 924 as your dividend and 2 as your divisor. Those 2 words we did not do yet in our vocab, so not quite those ones, but those are ones to keep on the lookout. You can underline them if you want. So those are to keep on the lookout for our future vocab words. Then ask yourself, how many times does 2 go into 9? And then multiply 2 and 4 to get 8. Then you will find the difference between 9 and 8, which is 1. I do know that word difference is a vocab term. So I'm going to highlight that. Let's do that green. All right, next, bring down that next digit, not it, digit. Next, bring down that next digit, which is 2, and ask yourself, how many times can 2 go into 12? Now you multiply that 2 and 6 to get 12, and then subtract 12 from 12 to get 0. After, bring down the next digit, which is 4, and ask yourself, how many times does 2 go into 4? Multiply 2 and 2 to get 4, and subtract 4 from 4 to get 0. No, not a 444 from Wendy's. We were subtracting 4 from 4, and we get 0. Finally, there are no other digits to bring down with no remainders, so you get a value of 462. I do know that that word value is a vocabulary term, so I'm going to highlight that. I'll do that in blue. So good, we do have our 2 vocabulary terms with 2 on the lookout for future reference. And that is it for our writing, so great job.